Alright, so I have a story for you guys. A little personal story that happened today. So we're selling our house, okay? And we're moving into this beautiful townhouse. So when you sell a house, you gotta leave your house when people come and show it. So we had a showing today at around 3:30 o'clock. 3:30 o'clock, yeah. Um, so we left the house. It was just me and my mom, and we had to take my dog Alvin. We just basically drove around. Went to Wendy's. It was really nice, okay? Now, we had to leave the house for about, I want to say, an hour. We weren't allowed to come back until the realtor texted my mom and said, hey, you guys come back. It was all ready for us to come back. So we come back and, open up the garage and, throw out our Wendy's bags and stuff. So I go and we don't use the front door at our house. We go through the garage. I assume most people do. But then again, I don't really know because I'm not fucking normal. So we go into the garage, and I go to put my hand on the doorknob to open up the door, and, I have my dog Alvin in my hand, and the door is fucking locked. So I'm like, oh shit, that's not good. Then I remember I have a house key, and I'm like, okay, that's okay, because I have my keys with me. So I tell my mom, like, oh, the garage is locked. So my mom's like, oh crap. So then it hit me. I remembered. When I was in high school, I didn't drive to school every day, or I had to take the bus every day, and sometimes my mom had to leave the house early. She works from home, so she's usually home every day. Doors usually unlocked to come in. I would have to use the house key and get in the door. Now, here's the thing about our door. It has a deadbolt. Most doors usually do. Our deadbolt is weird. When you lock the deadbolt and you try to come in the house and trying to use a key, you have to force it. It's really hard. So I remember I was locked out and I had to sit on my front porch until my dad got home to help me get into the freaking house, because we didn't have a garage door opener. Garage door code didn't work at the time, so I had to have my dad open up the garage. Anyways, so then I remember that flashed back to me, and I was like, oh shit, we're not going to be able to get in the house. So there we were, struggling to get into the house, and we managed to finally get in. My mom actually forced the door open miraculously. But, here's what I'm saying, man. If there's doors, if you're looking at buying a house and there's doors that are unlocked, they're unlocked for a reason. Don't lock them, because, first of all, it's not your house. So we probably spent about 30 minutes trying to get into the damn house. Rant for today. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Z's World Show. If you listen to this on Apple, iTunes, whatever it is, podcasts on Apple, you may or may not know I have a YouTube channel, and I do these podcasts sometimes on my YouTube channel. I haven't been doing it lately, but I found out about this this app, it's an app. It's a website called Podbean. Okay, and this isn't a sponsor. Okay. Everybody hates me. Nobody likes me. I don't have sponsors, okay? But my good friend, Coca-Cola Machine, if you follow me on YouTube, you know damn well who that is. If you're new to the podcast or listen on iTunes, if you just look up dick pics on Google, it'll show a picture of him. I'm kidding. Okay. No, Coca-Cola Machine, he's one of my closest mates. Him and I have best friends. He helped me start YouTube and everything. Anyways, he introduced me to this website called Podbean, and I'm looking at it today in class. I'm like, I'm going to start my own podcast on the site, and I can post it on iTunes. It's a new way to do the podcast. But if you follow me on YouTube, you know I usually go live every Friday and do podcasts. Well, first of all, my computer is starting to die on me, and it can't fucking take another live stream. Because of how bad the camera is in the internal computer. So that's going to be canceled until I get a new computer, live streams. But I will post this podcast in advance. But anyways, I hope everybody's doing well. If you're watching this on iTunes, or if you're new to the channel, please, welcome. Yeah. So I'm actually making sure this is recording, because That'd be embarrassing if it wasn't recording. Um, is it still recording? Hang on. Okay, yeah, we're still alive. All right, we're Gucci, we're Gucci. Okay, so this podcast, for those of you who are new, if you watched on YouTube, it was mainly just sports. I want to introduce a new type of podcast to the channel. There's going to be two parts of each podcast. We're still going to stick with sports, but that's going to be the second part of the podcast. But I also want to share with you guys some trends and some fun stories and some interesting stories from what's going on in the world today. So, I mean, if you listen to this was recorded on March 5th. Today is actually National Pancake Day. So happy National Pancake Day. I didn't eat a pancake for breakfast this morning. I had a bagel with cream cheese, and I went to Norfolk for my class. So yeah, you can tell I'm in the spirit. Yeah, I didn't find out about it was Pancake Day until I was in Norfolk, and one of the girls behind me said it was. But I thought, hey, why not include that on the podcast? But I want to know, what's your favorite type of pancake? Do you like chocolate chip pancakes? Do you like strawberry pancakes? Do you like blueberry pancakes? Pancakes with bananas on it? I swear to God, if anybody says they like pancakes with pineapples on it, go to hell. Okay? We're not getting into that. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, let me know what your favorite type of pancake is. Either tweet me at Twitter, ZeeZWorld27, or just go and comment on YouTube in the comments below what your favorite type of pancake is. It's also Fat Tuesday as well. Interesting fact about Fat Tuesday. It's also called Pancake Day. But for those of you who don't know, Fat Tuesday is basically the last day before Lent in the Christian religion. Usually my family takes part of it. I haven't really taken part of it that much. But basically the whole meaning behind Fat Tuesday is it's basically the last day during Lent. You are not forced, but it's a choice to give up something like a habit of yours. Like, for instance, when I was little, I used to love chocolate. So I gave up chocolate for a whole Lent. It was the worst month and a half of my fucking life. Basically, I say the Christian religion because Jesus basically died on the cross for our sins. So, yeah, that's where Lent comes from. He gave up his life for us, basically. But Fat Tuesday, it's also Mardi Gras as well. If you don't know what Mardi Gras is, it's basically the entire city of New Orleans basically just has a giant party through the entire week. I believe it's a week. I have a friend of mine who lived in New Orleans most of her life and is from New Orleans. So like she would always tell me all about it. It's interesting. I'm like watching. I had this desk in my room, and I'm watching. I think it's Around the Horn on ESPN or something. I don't know. It's through the ESPN app. I was watching something earlier. I went to the next show. They actually have the studio decorated Mardi Gras. I just realized that was pretty cool. But I have some interesting facts for you guys about Mardi Gras. The first New Orleans Mardi Gras parade was 177 years ago. Damn, that's old. Damn, that is old. That was on CNN, but yeah, I forgot to check the date. Maybe, yeah, let's just, yeah, that's the right date. Okay, we're good. So 177 years ago. And here's an interesting one. I didn't believe it at first, but this was on the official Mardi Gras site. Masks are required by law for float riders. So if you're riding a float, like I said, it's a parade. You have these big sparkly parades. They throw beads at you, and people go and get drunk on Bourbon Street. It's great. You really want to go get wasted, go to Mardi Gras. But anyways, if you ride on a float, you have to wear a law. I don't know how you can get arrested or something. Like a police officer just stops the parade, just gets on the boat, and it's like you're under arrest for not wearing a fucking mask. Yeah, that's Mardi Gras for you. What happens in New Orleans stays in New Orleans. All right, we got some more news. This has actually happened today. Kylie Jenner is the world's youngest ever billionaire. Okay, now she basically is the youngest billionaire ever. I already said that. I don't know why I'm saying it again. But here's her net worth is currently $900 million a year. That is according to Forbes, and that is a lot of freaking money. And she's 21 years old. She's yes, she's my age, okay, and she's out here making money for a makeup company. Meanwhile, I'm sat here playing Foot Champs every weekend on FIFA and FIFA 19 and wasting my life. I should just go into the makeup business, honestly. I gotta talk to my sister about that. She might know something there too. But yeah, she owns a makeup business and she is the world's youngest ever billionaire. So congrats to Kylie. I not a big fan of the Kardashians or the Jenners, but yeah, I believe that they're the worst thing that's ever happened to entertainment. Especially with this whole Chloe and I believe it's Tristan Thompson drama. That's the stupidest shit ever. I can't go on Twitter anymore without seeing something about that. Who the hell cares? They're all a bunch of whores anyways. Man in Wales installs a 15-foot tall dinosaur in his front yard. You heard that right, and I'm reading that right. A man in Wales installed a 15-foot tall dinosaur in his yard. This is a plastic dinosaur, aka this is the world's biggest scarecrow. It's the dinosaur is an Allosaurus, and his name is Alan. It's not pronounced in the U.S. or not spelled Alan. It's Alun. I saw this on Twitter too. I'm doing something that hasn't been done before. I'm listening to everything that I see on the internet. I believe it's real, but this is actually real. This is not a joke. I can confirm this is real. There's actually pictures, and there was a video on this. I watched on CNN too. So the company he bought it from, all the money actually goes to charity. They donated it to a diabetes organization in the UK. It helps with type 1 diabetes in the UK, and it goes to funding and helps people with it. But there's a good story behind that. So man installs a 15-foot dinosaur in his yard. There's a new trend online, and I saw this today, and I'm like, this is why we haven't cured cancer yet, because of this. People are throwing Crocs or Vans to see if they land upright. Apparently, if you throw a Croc or a Van or any type of shoe, it can't fall over. You just throw it at the ground and it's supposed to stand up, especially with Crocs. Yeah, this is why we haven't found a cure for cancer yet. I'm actually going to try this right now. I'm not recording this on a video, but I'm just going to try it right now. Actually, I brought my sneaker up, and I'm actually going to stand up and do this right now. I can confirm to you it does not work with Nike sneakers. The last topic we got in the news, I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, but this was my childhood. I was the biggest noob with Sonic the Hedgehog. Holy crap. I was the absolute biggest fanboy of Sonic. I had like every single Sonic game. Like I was obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog. And this year I found out, it was about 3 months ago, they're making a live action Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And I'm thinking, holy shit, this is about to get fucking lit. Cringe. But apparently I was so happy. I was so happy for this movie until today. And I hope to God this isn't real, but apparently the picture of Sonic the Hedgehog in the movie, what he looks like, was leaked. And holy crap, it is the ugliest freaking thing ever. It is not Sonic the Hedgehog. It looks like something you see out of the new freaking Pokemon game. Oh my god, it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. It doesn't even look like Sonic. Like, what is that? He's not... Oh my god, he looks fat. Jeez, I haven't played Sonic in years, and he looks like he's been eating way too many fucking donuts or hot dogs. I believe his favorite food's a hot dog. I don't know. But another interesting story that comes from my childhood. They released Pokemon Day was a few days ago. If you're a big Pokemon fan, hopefully you've heard about this by now. But they have released a new Pokemon game coming out at the end of the year. It is called Sword and Shield. You have to choose between those two games. and they released a whole new generation of Pokemon. I believe this is Generation 8, and the starters are Grookey, the Grass-type Pokemon, uh, Scorbunny, the Fire-type Pokemon. He's a rabbit. Grookey is a monkey. He's a little green monkey. And then Sobble is the Water-type starter. He's a water lizard. The descriptions for each: Grookey is a mischievous chimp Pokemon that is full of boundless curiosity. Scorbunny is a rabbit Pokemon that is always running about, bursting with energy. Sobble, a somewhat timid water lizard Pokemon that shoots out attacks as it hides itself in the water. If you get a chance to look up these Pokemon, just type in Pokemon Sword and Shield starters. And I want to know who would you pick for your starter? For me, I'm probably not going to play the game, even though I played every single Pokemon game that ever existed, except for the old Game Boy games. But ever since Diamond and Pearl, I've played every game from that, except for the, you know how like there was the Black and White game, and then there was the Black and White Part 2, and then there was Sun and Moon Part 2. I didn't play the Part 2s of those games, but for me, it really depends on what their final evolution is going to be. But right now, I think I'd go with Team Grookey, Grookey Gang. I almost said Gucci Gang. But I have a feeling that Scorbunny's going to have like the best freaking final evolution. Or maybe even Sobble. Sobble does not look very appealing to me. He's tadpole. He looks like a tadpole. He doesn't even look like a lizard, which is weird. But yeah, my favorite Pokemon game is probably the X and Y game. Actually, I believe it was the Kalos region. Froakie was my starter for that. I can actually tell you what my starters were for every single game. Who I would go with for the Kanto region. It really didn't matter to me. All those starters were awesome, but my favorite starter was Bulbasaur. But my favorite final evolution was freaking Charizard. I mean, who doesn't love Charizard? Johto region. It was always Totodile. Freaking love Totodile. Then it was the Hoenn region. It was Trico for me. I always liked the Hoenn region starters, but Trico was just the man, dude. Sceptile. Great Pokemon. Now for the Sinnoh region is my favorite region out of all of them. Favorite Pokemon, favorite region. But the starters for that region were amazing. I believe that they're right up there with Kanto for the most OP starters. It didn't really matter to me. I never really went with Piplup, even though I didn't really have a problem with Piplup. I loved Turtwig. I didn't like Torterra. But I loved Chimchar, Monferno, and Infernape, man. Those were, I love Sinnoh region. Then it was the Unova region, I believe. Okay, so I actually hated the starters in the Unova region. I hated Snivy. I hated Snivy's final evolution. I hated Tepig, and I hated Tepig's final evolution. Oshawott, man. Oshawott was amazing, and his second evolution, Duat. Whenever I got Duat, I always gave him the one stone where you couldn't get him to evolve into the final evolution. I hated his final evolution, dude. I can't remember what his name was, but Duat. I always ended up with Duat. Duat was great. So that was Unova. Then it went to the Kalos region. Kalos region, it was obviously Froakie for me. Who doesn't love Greninja? And then it was the Alola region. Shit, I can't remember who. Oh, I picked Litten, the fire type, because of Incineroar. Yeah, and then I would probably pick Grookey, maybe Scorbunny. I don't know, but that new Pokemon game out. Off to sports now. We got some big sports and interesting sports stories for you guys. We're gonna hop right into baseball. I'm not a baseball fan, but I thought this was outrageous. Like, this story just it broke the sports world. Bryce Harper signs. He was a free agent, played for the Washington Nationals most of his career. He signed a 13-year deal with the Philadelphia Phillies worth $330 million. Okay? That, if you're not familiar with sports, That is a lot of freaking money. That, in fact, is the biggest contract ever signed by a professional athlete to a team in professional sports history. It beats out any NFL contract. It beats out any football soccer contracts. And let me just tell you, soccer is the most popular sport in the world, and those guys are paid a lot. Okay, this deal is, I honestly can't see anything beating that ever again. Like, and the thing that's interesting to me was I'm not a big baseball fan. I really don't root for a team. I'll go for the Cubs because I'm a Bills and Bears fan, and half my family's from Chicago, half them from Buffalo. So Cubbies fan for me. But my first professional baseball game was actually 2 years ago. It was on my YouTube channel. My dad and I went to a Washington Nationals game, and they played the Rockies. I believe the Rockies won that game. But I remember, like, my dad was saying, I didn't know who Bryce Harper was. My dad said that, I think it was the season before that season, Bryce Harper won the MVP that year. So I knew I heard the name Bryce Harper before. I didn't know how good he was, but my dad said he was pretty special. But here's some interesting incentives about his contract, okay? He makes $44,000 a game, okay? That's a lot of money. That, like, not even half America makes that in a year. Jeez. If he goes to an All-Star game, he gets a $50,000 bonus. If he gets a Golden Glove, I'm not sure what that award is. I don't follow baseball, but he wins another $50,000 bonus. If he gets a Silver Slugger, he gets $50,000 bonus. If he wins the MVP, he wins $500,000 bonus. If he gets the NLCS MVP, he gets a $50,000 bonus. World Series MVP, he gets a $100,000 bonus. I don't know if Bryce Harper's married or has a girlfriend, but any girl looking, don't say no to Bryce Harper. If you want a lot of freaking money, don't say no to him because he will be living. Oh my God, he's gonna have a pet tiger or something. Like, just, I don't know. But moving on, we're gonna transition into some soccer, actually, or football. I call it football. I play too much FIFA. This was very shocking to me, actually. The German international team manager Joachim Low has announced that he will no longer consider Mats Hummels, Jerome Boateng, and Thomas Muller for national team duty while in charge. So basically, while he's in charge, he's not ever bringing up those three players again, or at least it's not likely. Now, you're not big into soccer. Basically, the World Cup, when Germany won it in 2014 in Brazil, those three players were like the heartbeat of that team. They're getting old now. They're like, I believe, like, they're all 29 years old, 28. I think Muller's actually 27. No, he's 28. This is a stupid move for Germany. I get that they want to build a new team because their World Cup was horrid this summer. There was so much controversy surrounding racism in the German Federation. I know there was a lot of racism around Mesut Ozil, one of their stars. I don't even think they won one game and they lost to freaking Japan. And I believe they lost to either Mexico or Sweden. They lost to one of them. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I get that you're trying to rebuild the team, Lo. Like, you're a great manager. This is a stupid move. You gotta have some veterans in the team, man. It's like for the U.S. The U.S. obviously, like, you got to bring in a whole new team, but you got to keep some veterans like Michael Bradley, maybe even Josie Altidore. Darlington Nagbe is another one to consider, man. It's going to be, and DeAndre Yedlin's another one. You're going to have a whole new team for the U.S. It's going to be the same for Germany. You got a lot of upcoming stars. I think in the World Cup, if I'm correct, he didn't even play Ter Stegen at the time. He played Manuel Neuer. Now, don't get me wrong. So much respect for Manuel Neuer. He is arguably considered one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. But he's old now. I believe he's about 30, 31. maybe even 32. He was out the entire season last season for Bayern Munich. I believe he tore his ACL. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but he was out for the entire season with that injury, and he was rushed into the World Cup, and he played awful. And yet you sat Ter Stegen, who is arguably the best goalkeeper in the world currently. It's very arguable with Ederson and De Gea up there as well. Alisson's having a great season as well, but Ter Stegen, to me, is the best goalkeeper in the world at the moment. And you didn't even start the best goalkeeper in the world, man. Like that's got to be something. I think it's more coaching than anything. Moving on, we're going to transition into today. I actually watched this game today. Ajax actually knocked out Real Madrid in the Champions League round of 16. Real Madrid have won the Champions League the last 3 times. The Champions League is like the Super Bowl of soccer. It's all the biggest clubs in the world. Basically, every country is in Europe. Every country in the European Football Federation. If you place in the top 4 or top whatever it is, I know different leagues have different things. I know for the Premier League, I'm going to use Premier League for example. If you place in the top 4 in the Premier League, you get a spot in the Champions League. If you place 5th, you get a spot in the Europa League. Now, the Champions League is like, I'm going to compare this to the NHL and AHL. The Champions League is like the NHL. All the big clubs are there. It's harder to win. And the Europa League is like the minor league for the Champions League. Usually you'll see not many big clubs there, but you got some relatively big clubs every now and then. Man United won it a few years ago. Chelsea are in it this year. They're probably not going to win, but anyways, so Ajax beat Real Madrid today 5-3 on aggregate. They won the game 4-1. Oh my God, man! Like it was crazy. I don't know who scored. This was literally as soon as I came home. I didn't watch the entire game. I probably came. I turned on the TV and turned it, and it was right after when Asensio scored that goal. And I watched every minute from after that. But there was a time where I actually was like looking at my phone for a second, and I hear I just look up, and I see it was the free kick goal. I forgot who scored it, but it was from a really hard angle. And I looked up and I thought he scored directly for a corner kick, but it wasn't a corner kick. I missed where it was from, but I knew it was from that area, and I knew it was close. But, man, it was a good game today, man. Ajax just kicked Real Madrid's asses. Real Madrid is shit this season, dude. And there's a lot of people asking, and I even saw this on ESPN today, is it the end of Real Madrid? I mean, you had Ronaldo leave this summer for Juventus, who was arguably the LeBron of that team. He carried that team. Now, don't get me wrong. Real Madrid have arguably one of the best rosters in all of football and the most talent on their team. But Zidane left this offseason. He resigned. Ronaldo left. So you got your manager and your star player who won you the last 3 Champions Leagues, and you get knocked out by a Dutch club with hardly anybody over the age of 23, and you don't just get knocked out, you get schooled by them, man. But everybody's asking, is it the end of an era? Let me tell you something, and hear me out. I don't think it's the end of Real Madrid. They're arguably one of the biggest clubs in the world, up there at Man United and Barcelona, okay? They got money. They can go and sign whoever they want. The coaching has been horrendous this season. They had Lopetegui, okay? Lopetegui was actually the the Spain national team manager before the World Cup. And I think it was like a week before the World Cup, he took the Real Madrid job, and Spain sacked him and brought on somebody else. But Lopetegui came and coached Real Madrid, and he was fired like within the first 3 months of the job because they were just terrible. And now they got Solari. Solari's done better than Lopetegui, but they're still crap, man. They lost to Ajax. Now, they're still not over with because you still got your star players. You got Ramos, who's having a good season. Okay, you got Marcelo, you got Varane, you got Carvajal, you got Toni Kroos, you got Modric, who just won the Ballon d'Or. You got Gareth Bale's been shit. Gareth Bale's probably gonna leave this summer. You got Vinicius Jr. on that left wing, who's I believe he's 18 years old. He is going to be something special one day. Keep an eye on him. He could be potentially one of the best players in the world. Give it about 5 years. He's the next Mbappe, even though he's from Brazil. But Benzema is starting to get shit as well. So if I were Real Madrid, you gotta find a manager. Now, let me just say this, and I know a lot of people, especially Coca-Cola Machine, are gonna be like, well, Coca-Cola Machine's gonna be happy I say this. I think Real Madrid honestly need to go out and get Jose Mourinho. Now, I don't know if I discussed this in any other past podcasts, but I've made it well known if you follow me on Twitter. I cannot stand Jose Mourinho. I was so happy when he was fired from Man United. I'm a City fan, and I couldn't stand Mourinho. He was just so arrogant. But I think Real Madrid needs to go and get Jose Mourinho because he has experience. He's been with them before. He has experience and knows a lot of top players. And I honestly think they need good defensive football. They got Courtois, who's arguably one of the better goalkeepers in the world. He's been shit this year, but historically he's been an amazing goalkeeper. And you got Keylor Navas, who's still good as a backup. Mourinho would be the right move for me. It's tough. I would even I don't know, man. It's hard. There's a lot of good coaches out there available. I would even go and look at a manager over in England like Eddie Howe, or even bring on Sarri from Chelsea because he'll probably end up getting fucking sacked this year. He's lost control of that club as well. But you know what? Honestly, Sarri would be the best option for Real Madrid. Go and sign Sarri, or even Antonio Conte, who left Real Madrid Chelsea last season. Antonio Conte was a good move as well. We're going to transition over into the NFL. Now this has been swirling for the last month and a half. Antonio Brown is. He wants out of Pittsburgh. It's falling out. He hates the coach. He hates Ben Roethlisberger right now. He hates the entire organization. He's just a big drama queen. He's so self-centered. He just wants to go somewhere else. I kind of don't blame him because Pittsburgh are falling apart right now. They had such a shit year, but I can't stand Antonio Brown right now, man. And I even heard the Bears could be involved in this trade as well, but from what I read, they're not anymore. But if the Bears would have picked him up, I would not have been happy with that. But he's likely to be traded within the next week or two. And the possible destinations could be the Oakland Raiders, the Denver Broncos, or the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know why a team would go out and get Antonio Brown. Yes, he's a talented player, but with all that drama right now, it's going to be a major distraction, man. I think the Broncos be the best suit for him. Because of, we got Emmanuel Sanders there, and Denver's probably going to possibly get another quarterback in the draft this year, get a rookie, because Case Keenum hasn't been amazing for them this year. Antonio Brown and Emmanuel Sanders played together for a while back in Pittsburgh, so yeah, but I'm going to get into the Cardinals in a minute because our last story is about the Cardinals. But the Cardinals are falling apart now. Their GM has to be the dumbest freaking person in the NFL. And then the Raiders, I'm not even going to talk about John Gruden as much as I can't stand him. All right, so we're going to talk about Arizona Cardinals. And here comes another rant, okay? So the Cardinals, if you follow football, they drafted Josh Rosen last year. I believe he was the second to last quarterback taken in the first round. There were 4 quarterbacks taken in the first round. There was Baker Mayfield taken first, Sam Darnold. There was 5 quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, and then Lamar Jackson. Now, Josh Rosen was coming in with a chip on his shoulder because he knew he wasn't going to be taken in the top 10, and he thought he was better. Now, obviously, that the way he played the season didn't look like he should have been a top 10 pick. But he's a rookie quarterback. He played horrible this season. He had some bright spots here and there. Okay, there's potential. But the Arizona Cardinals put Josh Rosen on the trade block today. Now, you're probably thinking, why are they putting their rookie he's not a rookie anymore, but last year's rookie that they invested a first-round pick into on the trade block? They have the number 1 overall pick this year, and they're presumably going to select Kyler Murray with the first pick. Good God, is this the stupidest move the Cardinals could ever make? Rome wasn't built in one night. Troy Aikman, arguably one of the most successful quarterbacks of all time, won 3 Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys. 4. 3, I don't know. I'm tired, it's late, and I can't even think. But he won a bunch of Super Bowls with Dallas. Point I'm trying to make. He went 1-15 his first year as a rookie. And then look what happened. Josh Rosen, I believe the Cardinals went 1-15 this year, maybe 2-14. Let's see. I'm actually going to look this up right now. Arizona Cardinals. Record 2018. 3-13, okay? Yeah, can't even talk sports tonight. They went 3-13. They were the worst team in the NFL last season. I mean, they lost to the Raiders. The Raiders are terrible. The Raiders are worse. Arizona does not have an offense. They don't have an offensive line. They don't have any good receivers. Larry Fitzgerald's freaking 37 years old, and this is going to be his last season. I thought last year was going to be, but he's going to stay one more year. I don't know why. I don't know why you put your body on the line for such a shit team like that and just not go to a contender. Props to him, though, for staying with the Cardinals that long. Why are you getting rid of Josh Rosen? Kyler Murray is going to be a bust. I'm saying that right now. Kyler Murray is going to be a bust. I don't think he's that good. He doesn't sound like he's committed with his future. He didn't participate in any combine drills. He was invited to the combine, didn't even participate in anything. He was just measured. That was it. I don't think he participated in the 40-yard dash. Usually, quarterbacks will participate in the 40-yard dash and they won't throw, which I'm fine with. Maybe they don't want to throw at the combine. They'll throw on their pro day. But he didn't work out at all, man. Like, all he did was just measure. He's 5'11". I don't think he's going to be that good. I think this would be the stupid move for the Cardinals. All right. That's all I got for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching this. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. I'm going to try and post these weekly. If you're listening to this on the Apple iTunes Store, Podbean, please go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. And then subscribe to this or follow. I don't know what the whole deal is with that. But I really appreciate it. And follow me on my way to becoming the world's number 1 podcast over the Impulsive Contact podcast right now. I won't lie. That's actually a good podcast. I don't watch every episode, but some of the episodes that Logan Paul does are good. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys. I hope everybody has a great rest of their week. Remember to get through it. I know a lot of college students are on spring break right now, and a lot of students will be on spring break next week. I have spring break next week, so I've got this week of hell, and then I'm done. Anyways, thank you guys for listening or watching.